Good afternoon, Dennis here, Pickett Street Properties, and my cohort here, Jesse.
Jesse Moore. I always like doing that, I don't know why. Hey, Dennis, you are currently working through a Chase short sale. How's that going?
Actually, I've got 3 of them currently going. Interestingly enough, Chase has been very, very proactive on these files. I've been pleasantly surprised. Unlike any of the other servicers that we deal with, they are actually calling me.
Right.
Before we ever got offers, I was receiving calls on about every 2-week basis on every one of the files that I had already submitted the packet for. So we put together up front a short sale packet with the assistance of our client, of course. It's got all the information that's necessary to put in front of the servicer. And so once I send that packet out, usually what happens is it goes off into the void. I don't hear anything. Until I put together an offer and send that through, then we can actually start working the file. However, with Chase, what I found is that once my client lets them know that they're applying for a short sale, and they typically have done this before I've even gotten involved, we put together the packet, Chase immediately puts me in the loop, and we start that conversation, and they're checking in to see if we've got offers and if we need to make price adjustments and making sure we've got all the paperwork lined up. So that once things start to flow, once we get offers in, I've got contacts and have people I can talk to and be moving things forward.
So that is kind of unique. Chase has been doing this for about a year now, is they've been reaching out to us, the real estate agents, and so before I even contacted them, they would contact me. The seller would give them my name and information, and they'd reach out to us and see what it is that they could do to help us get this property sold. And so I will say that they're very proactive. That was a game changer at the time. You just didn't hear from banks,
Right.
and so. That made me fairly excited. The reality, though, is that Chase short sales, they're not fast.
No, I wouldn't say that they necessarily speed up the process. It just makes it feel more like you have somebody on the other end of the line. You're not having to. I'm going to do a little compare and contrast here.
No.
For instance, we've talked a little bit about insurance companies having to do with the short sale world. There are a few insurance companies who have dipped their toes into this process. We've talked about State Farm Bank. Another one I'd mentioned is MetLife Bank.
USAA is another
USAA is another one. These guys are horrible. I mean, absolutely abysmal at communication. You can't get them to not only pick up their phone, you can go through their entire phone bank and not find a human.
Yeah.
So they're just absolutely horrific. So when you compare that with the outreach that we've been seeing from Chase, night and day.
Yeah, I just want to be clear, though, that even though they're reaching out to us, it's not necessarily improving the process. It's nice for us, it makes us feel good that they're contacting us and that we don't have to pick up the phone and sit there through, half an hour of hold music.
Right.
But the reality is that Chase, they could greatly improve their systems, they could greatly improve their time frames. But the reality is we get Chase loans approved, short sales approved pretty regularly. We have half a dozen of those that we're working on right now, and I have an approval from one that'll close in the next 3 weeks. And that one took longer than it should have taken.
Right. And
I had to escalate that file to a vice president to get anyone to move on it. So.
Right.
Chase, I guess the thing to know if you're a short seller and you're considering a short sale and you write your mortgage checks to Chase, the thing to know is that you can absolutely, you should be able to remedy that through a short sale versus foreclosure because Chase is proactive in working with those files.
Right.
But what you also need to know is that this is not going to be a 4-week process with Chase. It's probably going to be a 6 to 12-week process with Chase, for sure. Then that's after you have an offer from a buyer. And so it's important for us to know that because we inform the buyer's agents and we just let them know, hey, this is Chase. They're not bad to work with, but they do take longer. So anticipate 6 to 12 weeks.
Right.
So that's our experience with Chase. Feel free to leave a comment below or reach out to us and check out our shorter stay calculator if you're considering a short sale. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.